Welcome, everybody, to Ignite Humanity Live. I'm your host, Lady JB Owen, and we're talking about igniting humanity today. I hope you're having a happy day wherever you are in the world, because igniting humanity is on the topic of conversation, and I hope you're here to find out ways that you can ignite humanity. How can you step into a new version of you that's ultimately going to ripple out into the world and ignite the lives of someone else? And that's what this show is all about, talking to people who are igniting lives in their own small way, their own big way, their own medium way, but they're doing it one person at a time, and it starts with them. And it all starts with Ignite moments, these moments that change us and awaken us and truly step us into a new version of ourselves. And today's Tuesday, so the theme of the day is awaken. So the question for you is, are you waking up? Are you waking up to what's possible in your life? Are your eyes open to the true beauty and magnificence of you? Are you seeing what's possible in your life? And are you knowing that you can do things differently? You can do something that will truly inspire another person. As you step into your greatness and as you do what you love, you give permission for other people to do the same. And you teach the people around you how to treat you, and you teach them how to treat themselves. And as you can see, it becomes this beautiful ripple effect that's ultimately going to ignite humanity and take the world to a better place. Well, we hope for that. We wish for that. And that's why this show is here. We want to show you people who are doing just that in their lives. Well, let's meet our first guest. Let's talk to her. Karen Rudolf is a 4-time international best-selling author, speaker, and workshop facilitator, and stands at the forefront of transformative coaching and mentorship. She specializes in guiding individuals and professionals through challenging journeys towards personal and professional growth. And with a rich background in holistic well-being and well-being nursing, and her approach is deeply rooted in fostering resilience, enhancing communication, and empowering self-leadership. Mess that up a little bit. All right. Karen's expertise shines in facilitating profound change, and her unique methods in shifting perceptions have made significant impact, helping humanity achieve happiness and well-being. We love happiness and well-being. Please welcome Karen to the show. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And thank you for...
I got in like a transformative state myself. I was like reading and listening and thinking, and all those things were working at the same time. And I was just thinking about you, my darling, such a precious and gem of a soul, just doing great work on the planet. Tell the folks a little bit about you.
Oh, gosh. I started out nursing many, many years ago, gave up nursing to raise my family, actually. And after divorce hit, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And the sky is falling and everything else. So that was my awakening, to really be a stand more so for my children. I have 3 daughters. And I thought, who am I being? And what am I teaching them? I'm their first. So it's, I got the chills just thinking about that one. But it really had me start looking within. I was looking for everything outside of myself. And awakening always comes from within.
So well said. It's true. I think many of us are going through life wondering what's out there, how can this fulfill me, or this fulfill me, or this fulfill me? And you're truly talking about Tranquil Solutions, offering this idea that it does come from within. Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, when I started my spiritual journey of awakening, I really started looking for things outside of myself. I studied neuroscience and quantum physics, and I went into studying world religion. And all of a sudden, I really got that it's me. It's me, and how can I be responsible? And responsibility scared the crap out of me. And it was like, what was that supposed to look like? And then I said, small bites, and just one foot in front of the other. And that has been my motto. That's what got me through my recent accident, was just taking it in small bites and knowing that I had the fortitude within to create my reality without.
I like it that you use the word responsibility, because a lot of people are shrugging responsibilities. A lot of people are putting the responsibility on someone else. A lot of people are pointing the finger outward instead of pointing the finger inward. Is there something you can do to help prompt us into remembering our responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to others?
Yeah, one of the things I teach from is a space of when you're sitting there pointing the finger at someone else, you got three coming back at you. So when you're
Mm,
talking, when we talk and we speak, and we forget to slow down often and really get present to what's coming out of our mouth. Because when you're reacting, which causes your hormones to get into a uh, anxiety kind of space, we often have the ability to take that deep breath and pause and like, am I reacting or am I responding? When you're
mm.
responding, you're being responsible for your actions and what's coming through your thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are coming out there. So,
It's so true. And I've been hearing a lot. I have 4 kids of my own, but I have one that loves to say, "It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault." And I always say, of course, it's not your fault. It's no one's fault, but it's just the way it is. The
right,
question is, what are you going to do about it? Or how are you going to make that change? Talk
right.
a little bit about that, because I know you have done a lot of things, and as you mentioned, you were recently in an accident. You could have said, "Well, that was not my fault," but you actually, and I watched you, folks. I actually talked to Karen while she was in the hospital bed in Costa Rica, suffering from a broken pelvis, and she was blaming no one and literally looking for solutions. Share a little bit about that. It was truly an Ignite moment.
Truly, truly, one of my, thank goodness, because every experience we have compounds the next, and it's who we choose to become in the space.
Mm,
So because of all my experiences, one of the things when you shift perception, excuse me, I'm doing it, when we shift perception, it is looking within, how might I be responsible, and what experiences can I draw on? This is what is. So what I did was I surrendered to the moment and I
mm,
said, okay, this is what is. I'm not blaming anybody. There's nothing to blame. I can't change anything. This is right here, right now. What can I do differently? And I'm a communicator, and I've had leadership training, and I've had team training and communications training. And so, okay, I sat down, I'm laying there, not sat, I was sitting in the hospital bed, and it's like, okay, how can I be responsible for myself and get myself home safely? So I made a choice, and I said, I'm going to focus on my healing because my health is my wealth. And I'm going to create a team and get people to support me by asking, right? Ask and it's given. You don't
mm.
ask, you're not going to get, right? So I asked and I created a team to support me in ways and means of getting home safely because I couldn't move. And I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and I just focused on healing, period. And then people would come to me, my team would come to me, hey, we found a flight back. This is going to work. This isn't going to work. And I made the final decisions. I was responsible for my next actions, my next steps that are going to make me, number one, feel better and get me home safely.
Mm. I always tell my kids, got a problem, find a solution. And I think it's a big thing that we keep telling ourselves. But I like the way you put solution. Tell me about that. SOUL in the word solution. What does that mean?
Well, for me, again, when you're really in an awakened state, you're waking up not just all your senses, but it's the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual. And I've educated myself in all of that. So when you look at my bio, you'll see a W in front of the word holistic. The W stands for whole. We're whole, perfect, complete individuals right here, right now. There's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing to be fixed, right? So when you come from a space of perfection, right, we always
Mhm.
have room to expand, right? We always have room to grow and learn, right? There's nothing wrong with us, but we just don't know what we don't know. So the soul is your unique, authentic signature, what you're here
Right.
for. And when you know who you are, you know your purpose. Once you know your purpose, you make a choice. I made a choice to be a servant leader. Maybe somebody else made a choice to be something or someone else, but whatever resonates with you, and you start looking for alignment, things that will move you forward to have you feel good. What
Mm.
brings joy and happiness to you. And that's been a motivator for me all along. It's like I'm stepping forth. Oh, this feels good. Let me try this one. Sometimes I get caught up in shiny objects. I'm still human, but I love it.
I really want to agree with you. Are very much a servant leader. Can you describe that word for some people? It's a new word. Some people aren't understanding what it means. What's your definition of it?
So my definition of a servant leader is I'm here to serve. It's not about me. I mean, yes, it's about me and it's a win-win for everybody. So a servant leader is somebody who's only a few steps ahead of someone else. And I want to make a difference for humanity. And I am serving you to make that difference. So if somebody comes to me and asks me for support, it doesn't mean that I'm going to give all of myself to it, depending who it is, what it is, and if it aligns with my value system, if it aligns with what I'm about, if it aligns with that tranquil solution. There's always, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So when you look from a leader space, am I serving from that space of
Mm.
the heart? It comes from heart for me. It's all about being in the heart.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I think that leadership, and of course, we grew up in a generation where there was leaders, and it was kind of like they were at the forefront, and everybody else was behind them. They were sort of plowing forward, and everybody else was catching up. A servant leadership for me, it feels like the opposite. Like you're at the back of the pack, and you're sort of like
Push.
corralling everybody forward, and you're helping them rise, you're helping them move, you're helping them take
Yeah.
action. And that servant leadership is really from a place of serving others instead of asking others to serve you. So I appreciate that deeply. Thank you for saying that.
For me, it's
Mhm.
just as a quick little, it's being, for me, servant leadership is being the wind beneath other people's wings.
Yes, so true. So true. You do that a lot. Now, we've got viewers at home who are feeling like, how do I do that in my life? I've got this, I've got that. JB, Karen, you don't know what I'm going through, my kids, my job, my work. How can we help elevate them and awaken to them to what's possible for them?
Right. So everybody has different unique strengths. So when you look at your strengths, I never look at weaknesses. I always look to strengths and how might I collaborate with other people who have equal or other strengths that I don't have. So I'm all about collaboration. And in that space, I look for what's my strong suit? What's my gift? It becomes a gift. And how might I serve from that gift? So if you're home and you're wondering, I started out, I came from a horrific divorce and everybody's telling me what to do. I'll go back to nursing, I'll make money, do this, do that, do that. And I was like, no, it just wasn't resonating with me. I felt I had a deeper calling. So when I paused and took that deep breath to get present to who I wanted to become, not who somebody else wanted me to become, I actually sat down with a pen and paper. I folded my paper in half and I went, these are my strengths. This is what I'm currently doing. And this is what I want to do. And then I started crossing out all the things that didn't resonate with that higher purpose. And I found a why in the mix. Like, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to be a servant leader? Why do I want to get a message out there? Why do I want to do holistic perception, shifting perceptions? Because we have choice and people forget that. You have choices. So when you're looking to start, and look at your choices. Be compassionate and allow yourself the opportunity to look within.
Yeah, a lot of us are feeling like we don't, it's out again. We started the conversation, it's out there. Igniting humanity really is an inside job. It really starts with us. A lot of people are feeling like, I can't ignite humanity. I don't know how. It's too big, it's too much. But when it just starts with one person making this small ripple effect, can you talk to us about some of the fabulous things that you're doing to ignite humanity?
Absolutely. Well, certainly, writing books. I never thought of myself as an author or a writer or anything like that. We always have a message to share, or somebody can learn from the experience. We just talked about my Costa Rica accident. What do we learn from that? Well, I learned a lot from that. I learned to surrender, and in that space, I'm now teaching people to surrender. In my healing of that,
Mm-hmm.
I am teaching people, I'm doing it myself. I want to walk. So what am I telling myself? What am I affirming myself? What am I doing to anti-inflame my hips, right? So I can walk. And well, most people think of anti-inflammation as diet, but there's so much more. So I created a program that came out of that where
Yes, yes.
it's anti-inflaming your lifestyle, right? So we're looking at the mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, social, finances, in every aspect of life to really dig deeper and to really get to know yourself, because it always begins and ends with self. And, it always gets down to love. And when you love yourself, you're not only igniting your life, but you're igniting those around you. You're igniting humanity, and all of a sudden you want to be part of that. It's just is a natural progression. So
Mm. You know what I like is you, of course, took lemons and made lemonade. And I think that is so great because we all need to become the hero of our process and the hero of our journey. And you were in a situation that you could have taken you down the rabbit hole of depression and despair and victimization. And I'm sure there were moments where it wasn't all rosy. It was very, very difficult. But in turn, what you've done to elevate yourself is you've wanted to elevate others. And I think more and more of us should be doing that. We all have hardships and difficulties, but if we took that situation and used it to learn from it and develop new skills and tools, and then we can show those to other people, can you imagine how many people would have easier time, more benefits, less down their own rabbit hole, and then have the opportunity to teach someone else? So bravo to you for doing that.
thank you. Thank you. We always have a choice.
Hmm.
And choice is something that nobody could ever take away from you. That's your power. That's your superhero, superheroine powers. Right? So I have a choice. I could have sat there and made my life miserable and been in that misery. Or what can I build? I always ask myself, what can I build with this? What can I do with this? Well, I can't change it. I'm laying here and I can't change anything, right? But what do I really want? And what can I build with this to support myself in being joyful and happy, right? That's my ultimate essence of whom I would like to be and part of my why, right? We all want personal freedom. We all want to be joyful. We all want to be happy. Well, we create our own happiness. No one's going to create it for us. So knowing that, it was like, okay, my choice is to show up. My choice is
Hmm.
to, I didn't speak Spanish. So it was like, I know they were talking right there in front of me. And I'm like, I'm just not going to attach myself to what I think it could be. I'm not going to second guess it. It takes too much energy, and life is too short as it is. So, where am I going to expend my energy on? What am I going to expend my energy, and on whom am I going to expend my energy? So, it's become a choice in my life of how I'm going to show up. And I choose to show up. When I show up, greatness always happens. There's always, always, always a silver lining in everything. And
Hmm.
I chose to look for the silver lining in it. As painful as it was in the moment, the silver lining was I'm alive, right? Silver lining was, I'm going to get myself home. The silver lining was I learned to surrender. It didn't have to look a certain way. The silver lining is I created a course that's going to support others. I mean, there's so many different silver linings. Instead of looking at the negative, people said to me, I can't believe you did a workshop, 3 days post-op, IV's hanging, and I'm in my hospital gown and I'm laid out. And they're like, you're going to show up? I said, I committed myself to 58 individuals who signed up for this program. I'm going to show up. And I did. And the
Yeah.
staff was like, I can't believe you're doing that. I'm like, just close the door and I'll be back in an hour. But it's choices.
It
Life is
is choices.
full of
You were
choices.
so brave. I remember talking with you. And one of the silver linings was you wrote a chapter in one of our books about this experience. Talk a little bit about that.
Ignite faith. I was like, I remember when you asked me, it was like, I got that one down pat because
This has taken a lot of faith.
I was because, well, first of all, I'm a faithful person anyway, but it was like I remember laying there in Costa Rica and looking out the window, and I had a metal rooftop, and beyond the metal rooftop was in my vision. It looked like in my imagination in a sense. It was there. I thought it was a mountain. It was actually a volcano. And I'm saying, okay, how do I'm looking at my feet that are not moving at all, and a toe is like barely moving. And I kept looking at it and saying, okay, God, like you brought me to it. How am I going to get through it? I know if you bring me to it, I'm going to get through it. And how do I traverse a mountain? It was like the faith of a mustard seed. And then I went, okay, well, if I blow it, and I'm sitting there in the hospital bed going, so I was bringing humor to it as well to help bring down this, the all the hormones that were like running at the moment. And I was like, okay, one foot in front of the other. And if it's not one foot, one toe, like one step at a time. And if I focus on that, I'm not looking how high the mountain was. I'm looking at what's my next step, my next step, my next step. So when you asked me, it was just like, no brainer.
I can write. My hands are still good. I can still do my writing. I thought it was so fantastic. Really, really, truly. I'm sure there's some people who are watching who feel like I don't have choices. My choices are taken from me, or I don't know how to make a choice. Can you give some suggestions on that?
Sure, absolutely. Because most of the time we mess ourselves up, our thinking patterns, because we feel, or we've given our power away to other people's thoughts, feelings, and opinions. When you step back and you really look, like whose thoughts, feelings, and opinions are they? Are they mine? Do they align with Google? If it feels right, you're in that intuitive space of knowing. Right. So if it feels right, then a decision is just a choice you're making. Like I said, it's one baby step, just making and starting with one little itty bitty baby choice, right? It becomes a bigger choice. And then you make another choice, and then it becomes bigger and easier. It takes practice. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes. I was somebody back in my marriage, I gave away my power to the marriage. And every time I made a choice, I felt it was my perception that I was being shot down. Where do you want to go for dinner? I want to go here. No, I don't want to do that. So I got quiet and I gave away my power to like, whatever you want to do is fine. And before you know it, it was like after it was over, it was like I couldn't make a choice to save my life. And not only was I not making choices for myself, but now it's like I'm responsible for 3 other little souls. And it was like, I got to make choices. Am I doing the right thing? So it was like getting out of my head, taking a deep breath and saying, I'm just going to make a choice. If it doesn't, I have a perfect example of that, if I may.
Yeah.
My daughter was just learning, my middle daughter was just learning to drive. And she got herself this little itty bitty truck. And she says, Mom, I got to go sign up for college. I want you to come with me. And I went, okay, honey, I'll go with you. I need to talk to the financial, but don't say anything. And I went, okay, I get it. Right. So she goes through this whole big adulting moment. And she gets in the car and she looks at me and she goes, which way do I go home? I said, which way do you want to go? And there's a pause and she's looking at me like, Mom. And I said, well, think about it for a moment. If you go left, you might hit a cul-de-sac. If you go right, you might hit a stop sign. What's the worst case scenario? You turn the car around, right? And you're going to get home. So it's the same thing with your choices, right? If you go one way and it doesn't work out, 9 times out of 10, I mean, obviously there are choices that are going to have a huge impact, but start small. And if it doesn't go the right way, turn yourself around and make another choice, right? Until it feels good.
We were so on the same wavelength, because I was thinking, sometimes people make choices or they resist making choices because they don't want to be stuck in the choice that they made, and they feel like, that choice is forever. And
Or
I'm with you, like, make a choice. And if it doesn't work out, make a new choice. And if you made a choice and it's not fitting, like, pivot and make another choice. And it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Like, oh, I thought you chose that and now you've chosen this. It doesn't matter. You got new data, you assess new information, you got so far, you decide I want to shift and change. And I think what people are going to say about our choices often is what paralyzes us or stops us from making a choice. And I'm with you. Just turn, pivot, go back, put in reverse, try something else. It's just another choice.
Right, exactly. And don't worry what other people, a lot of times we get frozen by other people's, well, what are they going to think? Oh my
Mm,
God, I'm going to appear to look ignorant, or I'm going to, stupid, whatever you're calling yourself at the time. It's not the truth, right? I like to call it failing forward. When you take a step and it doesn't work, it's again, it's a choice. I can
mm.
choose to say, oh, I'm stupid, or I can choose to say, okay, I made a mistake, lift myself up. What do children do? They fall down, they keep going like it never happened, right? It's
Right.
us that make it mean whatever, we're going to make it mean. So fail forward, allow yourself, because you're going to grow from those experiences. You're going to learn from them. And then it's going to propel you into building your self-confidence, your self-worth, your ability to really show up again,
Mm.
most powerfully for you first, and then everything else. And then people notice. People.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, folks, make a choice and reach out to our amazing guest, Karen. You can find her at her website, absolutely tranquilsolutions.com. She can help you, support you, and give you some wonderful guidance towards living in that heart-centered soul space that really brings tranquility to you, being in the ness. Thank you, my darling, so much for being here. You are a joy and inspiration. Keep healing. Keep doing what you do. And I just can't wait to see what you're up to next.
Thank you so much.
Blessings. Have a good day. Well, folks, if you can get through it, you can do it. You can make those choices and step into a greater version of you. I hope listening to our guests always inspires you. If Karen can do it, I can do it. If she can persevere, so can I. If she can make small, tiny little choices that moves her forward, I too can do the same. And we love to have our guests inspire you in different ways and talk about their Ignite moments and how they have changed their lives for the better. And we all go through difficult things, but it's how we react and how we make the solution afterwards that really shows and creates that trajectory that we're headed forward. If you've had a powerful Ignite moment and you've got something to share, well, let us know, because we'd like to have you on the show. We believe that people from all over the globe have powerful Ignite moments. In fact, it's the common denominator amongst us all. Each and every one of us has an Ignite moment that's worth sharing and talking about, because it could ignite the life of someone else. So reach out and fill out our type form and let us know your Ignite moment. And if you'd like to know what we're doing at Ignite Humanity, well, head on over to our website, because we have all the details there. We're doing a fantastic, out of this world, galactic compilation book of 280 authors talking about their Ignite moment and how they're igniting humanity. Our goal truly is to make the largest compilation book that touches every corner of the planet, with people igniting the lives. And if you'd like to be a part of that, please check out our website and let us know, fill out our information, and we could be reaching out to you. We're also building schools, so find out more on our website. All right, big blessings to you. Hope you have a good one. Awaken to what's possible in your life and go out and ignite somebody else. All right, take care. See you tomorrow.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.